Hey, and thanks to my subscribers, I wanted to show you this. Stanley Kubrick's daughter debunks moon landing conspiracy theory, and no, she doesn't. And you gotta love that, man. Apollo here, standing on the Saturn cubes. That's pretty funny stuff. Internet legend would have you believe that filmmaker Stanley Kubrick, as well as directing classic films including 2001: A Space Odyssey and A Full Metal Jacket, aided the U.S. government in its faking of the moon landing in 1969. The idea has been chewed over by conspiracy theorists over the years, most prominently aided by documentary Room 237, which suggests the British filmmaker hid allusions to his involvement in the Apollo 11 deception within his horror film The Shining. It has now emerged that Kubrick's daughter, Vivian, is not a fan of this theory, going so far as to write an open letter chiding those who believe it to be true. And here it is here. I'll put the links below. You can read the lie there if you want to. It wasn't until Kubrick's passing in 1999 that the Apollo 11 theory gained traction, which hasn't stopped the media from embracing it. Most recently, comedy film Moonwalkers weaved the idea into its plot. For those who are dismissing his daughter's efforts to debunk the theory, she does make an excellent point. I actually knew him, she writes. I lived and worked with him, so forgive my harshness when I state categorically the so-called truth these malicious cranks persist in forwarding is manifestly a grotesque lie. That seems pretty definitive to us. Yeah, because you're propaganda. Isn't that so weird how she worded that? The so-called truth these malicious cranks persist in forwarding is manifestly a grotesque lie. Now, I believe in the possibility that NASA really did go to the moon, because maybe what's out there is not the moon. Is not as far away as they say. But what they showed us and the whole moon landing video is complete and total bullshit. I do think there's a good possibility that maybe they really did go somewhere, but what they showed us was crap. I believe that. It's a possibility. But other than that, who knows? And don't you think this is interesting too? Here, it wasn't until Kubrick's passing in 1999 that the Apollo theory gained traction. Not 1999 that it was created. In 1999 it gained traction, meaning this conspiracy theory, quote unquote, has been around for a very, very, very long time. So isn't it kind of strange that it's finally in 2016 the daughter supposedly comes out and debunks it? That's kind of weird, because maybe one reason why they're doing that is because they're about to try to trick people with a whole bunch of fake aliens and are trying to enhance and solidify NASA's quote unquote credibility. So when they come out in the news and say, hey, aliens are here to save us, everybody goes, yeah, must be, because NASA says, and they say nothing but truth, so yeah, must be. I don't know. Who knows? I just think it's pretty weird that after all this time is now when she's finally trying to lay this whole thing to rest. Suspicious. Alright. See you later.